Charlotte Hornets continue to wheel and deal. They trade Miles Bridges, a 2029 first rounder, and a 2027 second rounder to the Suns for Grayson Allen, Royce O'Neal, and a 2033 first round pick. So Bridges, they didn't want him on the cap or give him an extension down the line. And he was in the rumors the last few days, and now the trade comes to fruition where the Phoenix Suns obviously wanted Miles Bridges, and now they add him to their roster as Phoenix, and now they got Jalen Green, Booker, Dillon Brooks, Bridges, and Mark Williams is going to be their projected starting five, which is pretty solid in my opinion. So last season for Miles Bridges, 17.1 points a game, 5.8 rebounds, 3.2 assists, 1.9 threes, and 46% from the field. So we know Bridges, he's a good scorer of the basketball, even though arguably he could be the third or fourth option now in that offense for the Phoenix Suns, with Booker leading the way. Green, we know, is a good scorer, and Dillon Brooks definitely took the next step and improved his shooting, and especially his three-point shooting last season for the Phoenix Suns. So in terms of fantasy basketball, he's still a guy that's going to score anywhere from, I believe, 16, 20 points per game is Miles Bridges. This Sun team, they're going to really push the pace, I believe, this season as well, is Phoenix, where they were a play-in team and then lost in the first round to the Thunder in the playoffs, and now they figured they need another scorer and some size, and that's why they bring Bridges in. So like I said, Bridges could score, he could shoot the three ball, pretty decent rebounder, and in terms of fantasy basketball, his numbers will take a little bit of a hit, obviously, with Booker, Green, and Brooks. All those guys can score the basketball, but still someone in that 8th, 9th round range, I think fantasy owners could go out there and get. And like I said, the Suns wanted him, and pretty much Charlotte, they're locked in with Knupel, Brandon Miller, and Kobe White is their guards/forwards, where they're going to go in a different direction in the steal. And obviously, they even give up a 29 first rounder to get a later pick in this trade. And Grayson Allen now going to the Charlotte Hornets. He's going to come off the bench, is Grayson Allen. We know he could score the basketball, hit the three ball, and his steals and assisting was pretty good. So he's still a 4 or 5 category type of player. Last season, 16.5 a game, 3 boards, 3.8 assists, 1.4 steals, 3.1 threes, and 40% from the field. So like I said, his field goal percentage wasn't good. He was jacking up a lot of three-pointers as Grayson Allen. That's a majority of the shots he takes. But like I said, coming off the bench, he could be a solid 6-man for the Charlotte Hornet team as Grayson Allen, even though I think his minutes per game will drop off a little bit, where last season Phoenix dealt with the Green injury a majority of the season, and Allen was filling into some of those minutes, and he does qualify a point guard, shooting guard, and small forward is Grayson Allen. Like I said, he'll hit that three ball, score the basketball, and decent on defense as well, where he had the 1.4 steals a game. So someone in your later rounds of your fantasy drafts who I still believe 20, 25 minutes a game minimum, he'll get off the bench. And Royce O'Neal, he's not really a fantasy option, but a solid 3-and-D wing is Royce O'Neal, where he'll hit that three ball and he'll guard you if the second best player on your team most nights is Royce O'Neal, even though he's bounced around the league and he's getting up there a little bit in age. On the season last year, 9.8 points a game, 4.8 rebounds, 2.7 assists, 2.7 threes, and 42% from the field. So the Phoenix Suns in this trade figured they'll bring in Miles Bridges, add to their scoring a little bit in three-point shooting, where with this Charlotte Hornet team, they think they're pretty padded to scoring the basketball with Kobe White, Knupel, and Naz Reid, who they brought in, and Brandon Miller, who they drafted a few seasons ago. And now to add to the bench, where you know you need some good depth, where we see teams like the Thunder, Spurs, and New York Knicks make it far, where they had a lot of depth, and that's what I think the Hornets are thinking here. And they got tons of cap room, getting ball off, obviously, and now Bridges, 2 guys who are extension eligible over the next few seasons. I think it's a good trade for both teams. Like I said, as of now, I think Phoenix has the little upper hand, but in terms of depth and defensively, the Hornets get better in that position, and now they can run 8 or 9 deep. So Miles Bridges traded to the Phoenix Suns, O'Neal, Grayson Allen, and a pick back to the Charlotte Hornets. And we'll see how these players do with their new teams entering the 2026-27 season.